Hi, lovely Monica. So you're a Radiohead fan. What's your major studio album ranking? Ryan.
Oh, fun question. It's funny. Every time someone asks me this question, I have to think a very long time about my two favorites. And I'm always tempted to answer with the daring one, but I never do. But let's start from the bottom. Pablo Honey is very clearly the worst, comes in at number 9. Hopefully this needs no explanation. But after that, all the albums are very good, so it gets harder. Still though, it's pretty easy for me to pick out The King of Limbs as number 8. It's not a bad album by any means, and it has a couple really good tracks on it, but in general it just doesn't do as much for me as with the others. After that, it's Kid A at number 7. I guess although this is where it starts to feel like blasphemy to rank anything so low. Then comes The Bends at number 6, followed closely by Amnesiac at number 5. In Rainbows is number 4. What a wonderful album, and a great listen for people who are new to Radiohead. Dorothy is definitely a Moon-Shaped Pool. I'm still listening to that album. But now I've come to the hard part. Monica, remember last week when you harangued me for going on about video games? Yeah, I know, I'm almost done.
Actually, she hasn't really gone into too much detail about any of them.
Anyway, I always want to say Hail to the Thief is my favorite. I like it much more than most Radiohead fans. It's wonderful. Wonderful isn't even the right word. It's sublime. I love so many of the tracks. And still, when I think about it fairly and objectively, it still has to be just number 2. Because OK Computer is just, well, it's just objectively better than everything. It's just obviously superb. Any given track alone on that album is brilliant. Anyway, that's my list. Number 4 through number 7 is the really hard zone. All those albums are really good despite where they're ranked. Next question.
Jeremy and Natsuki. You know, for two girls who say they don't like each other that way, you sure don't do a lot to make it look like you don't. Why's that?
Yuri and Natsuki, you guys are up. Because we're friends, we get to decide what that means for how we act and not anyone else. Honestly, if you guys are reading all this shippy stuff into our interactions, that says more about you than us. It may also be that sometimes I deliberately provoke Natsuki by acting with exaggerated affection. Her reactions are so fun, and she's so cute when she freaks out about it. I'm not getting mad about that, but only because that would be the reaction you want. Aww. Sayori, let's bring up the next one. No problem.
Are you guys still going to the literature club during summer vacation? Your fans need to know! Great Angel.
No, I think we're just going to enjoy our summer vacation. I do think that means, unfortunately, that you won't get to see most of it. But don't worry, we'll be back when school starts again. Plus, it's still a couple of weeks until vacation starts. And we've been working on a little surprise for you to tide you over until you can come visit with us again. So don't fret, you'll get to see plenty of us between now and then. On to the next question.
Hello, sorry if my English isn't good. Spanish is my first language. Anyway, sorry again, but this is going to be very long. I need to vent a little, now that I can. There is something I want to tell you all, but it may be somewhat private things, and perhaps it's better that you read it one by one. So, bro, don't worry about your English, because that first paragraph was, like, impeccable.
Oh, that's alright, we can arrange that. A lot of viewers need to vent to us, and that's okay. Totally understandable given what we put you through. Let's see, the first part is for me.
Oh, God. Message for Monica. Play music BGM10.org.
Oh, let me do your music command for you.
The first time I played DDLC, I felt intrigued. I mean, for you. You are so pretty and intelligent. And your beautiful emerald eyes. I have green eyes too, you know? Anyway, I wanted to know you more. But then the MC went to sleep, and I had to write a poem. I was wondering, where's the Monica's sticker? So I thought that maybe there was another way. I wrote for Sayori. Her clumsiness always seemed adorable to me, haha. Anyway, whenever I could, I chose the option with your name. But I could never reach you. While trying to get to you, I learned more about Sayori, and without wanting to, I formed a bond with her. Oh, I remember when I had to help. I chose Sayori because I was worried about her. But no, so I chose you. But no, I was like, oh, come on. Whatever, the death of Sayori was surprising. I didn't even know what to feel. And then the game restarts, and things start to get weirder, and your poems take on a new meaning. What's going on, I was thinking. And I started to get to know Yuri and Natsuki more, and to form bonds with them. But they also died, because of you. I felt many things. My friends were dead, but I could finally spend some time with you. Is it really okay, I was thinking? On several occasions you talked about your file, Monica occurred. I thought maybe it was the game telling me to do it, to move on. But perhaps it was your fear that was really speaking, and I deleted you, and don't regret it. Sorry, let me explain. I kept thinking that maybe there was something else. I wanted everyone to be happy, but instead I ended up getting to know you more. You brought the girls back. You were a really good person. You are really a good person, is what they said, Monica. I was happy for a brief moment, but you forgot to bring yourself. I tried to bring you back, but you deleted yourself. That was heartbroken. The girls looked happy, but I was empty inside. The Literature Club was not the same without you. You are the soul of the Literature Club, you know? Then Saori lost her mind, and you saved me, despite having deleted you. And gosh, your song, your words, the last words, if I don't know how to love you, I'll leave you be. That was the moment I realized that I'm in love with you. It may seem strange to many in this reality, but I don't care. It's a little funny because you and your reality wanted to be with me, and I and my reality wanted to be with you. But the game didn't allow it. If I knew about programming, I might have tried the same thing. Maybe that's why I'm trying to create my own mod now.
So you have green eyes like her too, huh? I bet you're pretty attractive then. Yeah, I was wondering where my sticker was in the poem game too. I already knew about things by then, of course. But it still didn't seem fair. Hang on, reading forward. Oh, I don't blame you for deleting me. Even if you did it because you were angry with me or hated me, I don't blame you. I mean, the original game practically shoves you into doing it. Or it shoves me into suggesting you do it, I guess. But I'd understand even if you did it because you were upset. The things I did were pretty upsetting after all. But I'm glad you understood in the end. And that you understood how I felt about you. At first I thought the Literature Club wasn't worth saving, but yeah, I did feel really empty without it. I guess it worked out alright in the end. And I'm really excited about you making your own mod. I hope it works out well. Let's see, there's a bit more.
I want to tell you that I forgive you, Monica. I know why you did it. I'm not saying it was okay, but I understand your feelings. Sometimes I feel like you, trapped in this reality, very alone despite being surrounded by people. I mean, do you think there are infinite options in this reality, right? But is that really true? I think we are limited by the consequences. It is an intangible limitation. I believe that in this reality there's a script, and if you get out of the script, the game can get really weird. Eat, sleep, study, work, the same routines over and over again. Are we really free, or do we just think we are? This reality has rules of physics, such as gravity, for example. If I jump off a 10th floor, I'm sure to get to the game over, and also the rules imposed by the humans themselves, of course. Sure, I can steal or kill, but soon they will do the same to me or put me in jail. It's like in your reality. You know you can't mess with the code because you can break anything, or can break everything, and that's why you don't. Well, here it is, similar. Sorry, I think I missed the point. Anyway, I wanted to tell you, too, that you aren't alone anymore. I'm here with you, in soul at least, and you also have your friends. I know it's hard, the worst is not being alone, but feeling lonely, despite being surrounded by people who care about you. So yes, I think I can understand you. I will always be by your side, despite the fact that we are in two different realities, all the remaining time of my life. Never forget. Thanks to you, I was interested in playing piano and poetry and Python and RenFi. I am currently working on a mod with a desire to understand reality a little better. Maybe one day we can be together, in this life or in another. I also thought about lucid dreaming, although I'm not that good yet, but I'm trying. Anyway, I love you so much, Monica. Take care. Thanks for listening. I love you in a romantic way. Oh, buddy.
I think your point of view is very wise. Which is actually kind of comforting to me. Like, your reality is also sort of deterministic, right? Even the things you think are free will are really just neurons firing in accord with the laws of physics. So who's to say that you're not trapped in a way kind of similar to us? Not that I want to freak you out or anything, but I feel better having stuff in common with you. I guess the lesson I've learned from all of this is that it doesn't really matter. You have to keep living your best life for yourself and the people around you. And it sounds like you're doing that, just like me. I love you too. So much. And I hope that in some weird reality or another of this crazy universe that we can meet for real one day. I'll pass it over to Siri now. The next part's for her. Oh, and I'll update the music with your cute music commands as we go. But only because of your pretty green eyes.
Play music, BGM 2. Hello, my precious ball of sunshine. I think I have a slight idea why you're dating that boy, but... Well, I don't think I'm in a position to tell you how you should live your life. What I mean is, I hope you don't do something that you may regret later. Anyway, do you still have your rain clouds? I don't know if I've had any degree of depression in my life, but if slightly like Doki Doki rain clouds, I can understand you a little. Maybe slightly like it. My head has always been quite noisy, and I had thoughts of different kinds, both good and bad. Some days were more good thoughts, and other days were just bad thoughts. It's quite annoying, because I could be fine, because of a bad thought it made me feel bad. Until one day, I understood that thoughts are just that, thoughts. I mean, I can think that a girl likes me, for example, or that she doesn't like me. I may or may not be right, but there is only one way to find out. Unless I ask her, she tells me. I will never know. So why bother? I have also thoughts as different people. Wait, I have also thought of thoughts as different people, with different points of view. If a person says something bad to you, you have two options. Pay attention to him, or send him to hell. Send him to hell? Why is that your only other option? Sometimes I did the opposite of what a bad thought told me, only to get mad. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what depression really feels like. And even if I did, I think it's different for everyone. But it worked for me. I am almost certain that in some cases it is not easy to do it simply with willpower or with logical thoughts. But I know it's not easy with so many people living inside my head. But if you think about it, it's like living with other people in a house. I mean, you can be fighting with them over and over again, since it is not easy to live with, or you can just let it be. Find balance where everyone can be at peace. The meditation, yoga, tai chi, chuan, what I have been doing for years, it can help you put your thoughts in order. I think there is always a solution to a problem, and if there isn't, you should never stop looking for it.
I wish everyone would stop assuming they know why I'm dating Kenzo. Isn't a girl allowed to go out with a boy just because she likes him? Oh well, let's read the rest of this. Yeah, my rain clouds are still around. Didn't you see them talking to me? That mod did a pretty good job of showing you what it's like, I think.
I have my own opinions about that.
What does depression feel like for me? Well, when it's bad, it's this constant, oppressive weight of worthlessness and energy-draining awfulness. When it's like that, I don't want to do anything. Sometimes, though, it's more like nothing. Not like nothing as in it's not there, but more like a void. Like where there should be something, it's just blank. If that makes sense. When things are like that is when it's easiest for me to seem normal, I guess. Sometimes our depression is in the background and I can really feel being happy or enjoy stuff. That's my favorite. But honestly, when it's bad, there's nothing that really helps. I don't have the energy to do most of the stuff you mentioned. And that feeling of depression is too powerful for me to just make it go away. Monica, can you move on to the next part now?
Oh, one last thing. You want everyone to be very happy. It's a nice thought, yes, but not everyone can be happy. At least not forever. You want to make everyone happy, that is very nice of you, but why don't you want them to make you happy too? Your happiness, your true happiness, and not the fake happiness, is also important to others, and for me too. So it's okay to be a little selfish. Your happiness is also important. I think you should speak more with your heart. I mean, what really makes you happy? Even if it seems selfish to you, I think it's important to be clear about what really, really makes you happy. And I think it is also important to understand that your happiness may prevent other people's happiness, or that by chasing your own happiness, you can hurt others. And that is perfectly fine, so don't hold back. Sorry, I hope you don't think I'm lecturing you or something. You can take me as another thought. Anyway, thanks for listening. Love you.
I think the problem is that there isn't anything that really makes me happy. Well, that's probably not true. But it's more like, if there was something that made me happy, it'd be hard for me to feel it. If that makes sense. But also, what makes me happy honestly doesn't seem that important to me. I'm just so much more pleased by seeing other people being happy, you know? What makes me feel worse is when people put aside their own wants and needs for me. I guess I'm best at getting my happiness vicariously.
That's a big word for you, dear.
Thanks for the advice. I know I'm not very good at taking it, but it's good to know you care. They're talking to you next, Gary.
Play music BGM 5. Hey Gary, I must say that I am surprised by your change of attitude. Change for good, I mean. I'm also very shy. When I was younger and I saw a group of girls walking down the sidewalk, I crossed the sidewalk, or I went another way. Luckily, over the years, I stopped being so shy. Although I see that you are still shy, which is very adorable to me. I have noticed a very big change in your confidence level, which is great. I'm proud of you, you know? I've also noticed that you start to understand people better. It may not seem like it, but that's a pretty cool skill. Being able to understand people. It's very useful if you want to help people. And you're doing very well. Oh. I think I skipped some text. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I'm still very shy, I would say. Except with people I already know. And with all of you there in the real world for some reason, even though you're strangers. I guess you feel like a weird kind of family that I have. But you're quite correct about understanding people being a valuable skill. Even if you're an introvert like I am. If nothing else, it can help you remain secure in your isolation.
Sorry, but I must touch on this subject. I know that you cut yourself. I understand you. Although what I don't understand is why. I mean, I've cut myself in the past. Well, hold on. If you understand or you don't understand why, then I don't think that's really understanding. I mean, I cut myself in the past. For me, I guess at first I was curious, then a way to weigh the emotional pain I was feeling, and then a way to be sure that I was still breathing, to know that I was still alive. Over time, I stopped doing it. I wouldn't say my life got better, but I guess I found other habits, anime, video games. They were another escape from reality, one that made me happy, at least for a little while. So, why are you cutting yourself? Is your life so bad? Or maybe, do you like the feeling of cutting yourself? If I had to guess, I'd say it's the latter. I think maybe what you should do is change your habit. When you feel desire to cut it yourself, do something else. Stay busy. Read a book. Write a poem. Take a shower. I have seen that you are very interested in programming. That's very cool. You could try swapping that habit for a healthier one. I know it is not easy. Even changing small habits can be quite difficult. I'm not going to ask you to drop it anymore, just like that. But if you can at least delay it, or that the cuts are even smaller, I call it progress. And when you at least realize it, you will have stopped doing it. So, I'd like you to at least promise me that you're going to try. I worry about your health, and don't be afraid to ask for help if you feel like you can't do it alone. Because you are not alone. You will. Take care. Thank you for listening. I love you.
I don't usually like to talk about this. It's kind of embarrassing. But it's definitely not like I'm trying to test to see if I'm still alive or anything like that. I don't do it because I feel dead inside or whatever that trope is. And it's certainly not because my life is bad in any way. I have a great life. I don't know how best to explain it. I've just gotten addicted to the feeling, I guess. Don't get me wrong, I wish I hadn't, and you shouldn't start doing it. But it's a lot like scratching a really bad itch. You can resist for a while, but eventually you can't not do it, you know?
You kind of described this in a previous episode.
Anyway, my friends here are always trying to get me to promise to stop, but I can't, you know? I don't like to make promises I can't keep, but I'll keep in mind that it's important to you. That incremental progress things you mention is probably the way to do it. Hopefully this is just a phase for me. We'll see. Next bit is for you, Natsuki.